G'day everybody and welcome back to another episode of Craft by Tim, and welcome to part 2 of making our barbecue smoker. But before I begin, I would like to say something. I am dumb and stupid and dumb. You thought for a second there that I had a sponsor. Of course not. Anyway, so in true Crafted by Tim fashion, I totally forgot to do any actual research on the ratios of how to build a smoker. I was left a little bit in the dark and off to play on my own with the fairies. What size firebox I can use for what size smoking chamber, what size chimney, openings, airflow, vents, all that sort of thing. But I found a website that's very handy, and I'll leave a link to it in the description. Basically what this does is it gives you all of the information that you need to make a smoker, ratios and everything like that. Design, that's up to you, but this will give you a starting point. All the guesswork is mostly taken out and simplified. I didn't know about this. Now I do. I have to do a little bit of backtracking as to how I'm going to actually do the next step. So, now that we have our firebox all made up and we're ready to go on to making the actual smoking chamber, I have to adjust the size of the actual smoking chamber. Because if I wanted to use the same size smoking chamber that I was planning, I'd need a firebox about twice the size. And we've already put a lot of effort into this. Originally I was going to use this prefabricated cast iron grill plate. Now that that is sort of out the window, I'd throw this, but I think I might return it. I went to my local steel supply and I managed to find 3 plates that are going to be big enough for me to actually make a brand new grill plate. But this means doing the one thing that I wanted to avoid, which was drilling more holes and cutting more slots. This is not the fun part of this project. And seeing that now I have so much extra work to do with these, I think I might start there.
How heavy is that? Light work with the bass on the track on my face in the back like I'm taking a slap. I need a drink, but it's straight from the tap. And I'm hating the slack, couple man slide around like the hate in the gaff. Please stop talking that trash, cause the vibes in the front all the way to the back.
For reference, this took me all day to make these 3. I missed out on a little bit of marking out here, so I'm going and adding a little bit of extra material back so that I can center punch off something. The only real thing that I need to keep in mind is making sure that my center line stays straight.
How heavy is that? Light work with the bass on the track on my face to the back like I'm taking a slap. I need a drink, but it's straight from the tap. And I'm hating the slack, couple man slide around like the hate in the gaff. Please stop talking that trash, cause the vibes in the front all the way to the back.
When it be By far, this was one of the most difficult steps. The hinges that I made were almost exactly the same as I did in the last video, but riveting them on was a little bit more challenging than I ever thought it could be.
So this is one of the very few parts that I've decided to purchase for this. It is a thermometer, because I can't really make a thermometer. I don't know how these things work. So I need to build a small box for this to sit in, and then that's just going to connect to the very front of my smoker hood. Nope. Now we're onto the chimney, so I need to do a little bit of work outside of the workshop. And after trying to set up my new microphone, I figured that this would be a good way to relax.
Funnily enough, this ended up being a complete waste of time, so let me just skip and skip and skip a little more. And until about here where I realize this.
So I'm not entirely happy with the way that this actually looks. It's kind of too big. It doesn't look right, and it also sits well above the top of the smoker lid. So I decided that I want to change that up a little, and what instead I might do is just take what I was planning on doing for the very top of this, and then just make that on the side here. And then you can just sort of turn it backwards and forth to allow more smoke to come out or less smoke. So after what I can only imagine has probably been like 2 months, it is finally finished. It's finished being welded, but as you can see, it's a little bit rusty because it's taken me a little while. And this is all bare metal pickled steel, so it rusts pretty quickly. So I'm going to go through with a bunch of Scotch-Brite, a little blowtorch, and we're basically going to oil the entire thing. Just going to use regular cooking oil, but I'm going to cut most of that out because this is going to take a while. So, it is finally done, after months. So I was having a couple of issues, mainly with the lack of insulation in this, but overall, it works, and I'm actually pretty happy with it. As far as what I've actually learnt from this process is insulate, definitely insulate, do like a double wall insulation. Even that little bit is going to help a lot. The second thing I would say is probably maybe make this a little bit smaller, make sure the cooking chamber is a smaller size than the maximum capacity for the fire chamber or the firebox, because those little things is what is really going to help make this work. Now, you might have noticed that I've ground off the weld that ran around the top, and that was because I had made a slight mistake, which is actually pretty good because considering I had made very few mistakes over the entire process, which I'm pretty happy with. However, that one mistake meant that my weld was way off center because I had measured half of the width rather than half of the length. So when I cut it, it was off center, which was annoying. That being said, I managed to grind it off, and it doesn't look too terrible. I hope you guys enjoyed. As always, if you have any suggestions or questions, or just comments and criticism, please drop a comment down below. I always like hearing from you, and I always try and answer as much as possible. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will catch you all in the next episode. In the meantime, do remember to stay safe, happy crafting, and as always,